Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Jim Maron. Today we're going to try to figure out what in the world is ELEX II. ELEX is the sequel of ELEX, or ELEX II rather, is the sequel of ELEX. And it takes place about 10 years after the first game, if I'm not mistaken. The game doesn't really know exactly when it's taking place from what I can tell from the dialogues. It could be 5 years, it could be 10 years, it could be 2.5 years. The character supposedly was knocked out by some aliens for 1.5 years in some dialogues, and it's not really very consistent on it. But, needless to say, this game is kind of an open world RPG game, which kind of throws you into the wolves and lets you fend for yourself. As usual, we're gonna check the options menu. We've got some gameplay options here. HUD, status screen always visible, radar, and so forth. I would have much preferred to see a minimap style, kind of a minimap instead of a radar, kind of like in the Witcher 3 game, where you had a minimap instead of a radar, and it kind of showed you like a pathway that you could have taken, although you can just strafe off and then do your own thing instead. But alas, they do have a radar instead here, so not a big deal. It's not too obtrusive. Got a tutorial thing here. You got focus highlights, mark dangerous opponents. It's like a skeleton thing that you're going to see next to really dangerous enemies that you may want to avoid, especially in the beginning of the game. Got autosave intervals. You got autosave on and off, and autosave intervals. I have it on 3 minutes. That allows me to essentially go back and redo a conversation that I just did, but my companion did not really like what I had to say to the person that I was talking to, because they are of an opposing faction. So keep that in mind. If you do want to kind of cheat the game that way, you may want to do that. I don't see the difficulty option here, but it is given to you right before you start the game and in the game as well. So you can always just change the difficulty on the fly, and I will talk about the difficulty of the game in a minute here. It is fucking difficult. Volume sliders, you're going to see main, voice, environment, effects, and music. I always turn the global slider down so I can hear myself talk a little bit, but you may have noticed that the effects is a little bit lower than the rest of them. That's because they're awful. The sound effects are awful for sound effects. It's pretty bad. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The voice acting, amazing. Environment, ambience, it's a hit or miss. Some of these creaking noises on the wood led me to believe that my speakers were defective, so they do have the moments. The water effects, just disgusting. I think that's on the effects though, not on the environment, but they're pretty fucking loud, so I would have to say that it might be in the environment. And then got music. Music is outstanding in this game, so is the voice acting. I have no complaints on either of those two. Controller, if you want to be a psycho and play with the controller on the PC, feel free. I'm not going to stop you. You got key bindings. You can pretty much customize most of those things. I do want to mention that quick load is bound to F9. However, when I hit Alt F9, my character dodges. So I'm not quite sure what happens with that. That's another one. Alt F1 does the same thing. I'm not quite sure what's happening there, but yes, you do have quick save and quick load. Quick save, you can quickly save whenever you want. It can be battle, it can be while you're falling to your death. It does not matter. The game will let you quick save, which is amazing, you know. If I'm stupid enough to quick save as I'm about to die, cool, let me do it. That's what the autosave interval is for. I'll just go 3 minutes back and solve that issue. More controls here for the keyboard and mouse, such as the speed of the mouse aiming and all that stuff. It is quite atrocious to aim in this game, especially with the ranged weapons. That is because the render latency of the frames is actually 30 to 40 milliseconds, and also what that creates is it's kind of like an input lag, but combined with the mouse smoothing that seems to be taking place in this game, I found it impossible to actually use any ranged weapons. I rarely use them, and that is the reason why I actually don't level up my ranged things, and I will talk about that in a second here while we're in the game as well. I did have to turn off evade by tapping the WASD keys twice. That is because when I'm navigating through a narrow corridor or something like that, my character will just dodge, and sometimes he'll dodge when I'm on a bridge, and then I'll just kill myself that way. It is notable to say that the walking mechanics are kind of Red Dead Redemption bad, and not in the good way. Red Dead Redemption, it's really bad. Here are some of the video settings here. We got windowed mode, full screen only, so that's the only way for me to utilize G-Sync. And that's another thing that surprised me. G-Sync is working perfectly fine with this game, but the render latency is still really high. 32, 35 ms right now, 36. That's just ridiculously high. GPU utilization is at 99%. There hasn't been a game-ready driver released for this title yet by NVIDIA, so I'm really hoping all these issues, as well as some of the other major bugs that I'm encountering in the game, will be fixed with that kind of update soon. The game comes out in 2 days, as of recording this video, so I don't know. We'll see. Aspect ratio, this is nice to see in case you want to force it. It does support ultra-wide perfectly, no issues there. Resolution, refresh rate, scaling, VSync, and gamma. And you got some more graphic settings here. You got depth of field. So as far as post effects go, that's the only option here. I don't see any motion blur or vignette or chromatic aberration stuff here, or even a post effect option. So on one hand, it's bad that it's not there, so because I want to know that I can control it if it is. I haven't noticed anything, so that's why it's also good. It's because those things are not in the game, so bravo there. Anti-aliasing, I have turned this off because even though I'm running a 3080 Ti and a 5900X, I'm getting like 60 to 70 frames per second at best in the game, and the game does not look nearly good enough for that kind of performance, and we'll see that in a second. I mean, ELEX I did not drop any jaws, and ELEX II certainly does not drop any jaws either. Ambient occlusion, fog quality, shadow quality, texture quality, vegetation quality, shader quality, render range, and environment render range. So those are the display settings there. Everything maxed out because why wouldn't you on a rig like this that costs thousands of dollars? And then language, you have different languages and subtitles and all that stuff, so that is all pretty good. And let's jump into the game, talk about the bad, talk about the good, and talk about what the game is about, first of all. After you finish, so I think, yeah, I'm just going to focus on the main problem that the game has here, and that is the pop-in, which is not actually happening right now, and I don't know why. Oh, there we go. Yep. So you may have noticed here, stuff is phasing in and out of existence. I'm not entirely sure why. Even the floor that I'm walking on, now I'm actually inside the texture here. I'm not exactly sure why this is happening. It happens in all the major cities. So this is the Berserker settlement here. This is my nasty, very nasty companion, Nasty. She has a mouthful. My head, my glasses are popping in and out. My body, my torso is popping in and out. This is actually quite mild. I want to do this here. Another problem I have with this is the map is actually running on 30 FPS by the looks of it when you're scrolling, and it is quite distracting. So we're gonna teleport here into the City of the Outlaws, which is a cave system. You may think this is pretty cool. It is kind of cool. It's a navigational nightmare to walk about this city, but when this starts phasing in and out and just bugging out, it's very distracting. It's a lot more distracting than the Berserker village. So I'm really hoping that these kind of issues get resolved within the first patch. Maybe there's a day one patch for this game that I'm not aware of, but I think it takes a little. Yep, there we go. So it's starting to. I'm kind of suspecting it's kind of like a memory leak that is happening with the game. But needless to say, you may have noticed that I'm actually using my jetpack to eject myself forward and kind of dash through like that. That's one of the new features that they overhauled the jetpack with. Let me go finish this quest here so I can cause this city to kind of fail to oblivion here. They reworked the jetpack. It no longer regenerates any fuel as you're falling or you're not using it. So just keep in mind that you may die if you run out of fuel. Let's go. You expected it. Just gonna skip through this here, so we can kind of inspect the dialogues a little bit later. So this is a quest line that I'm taking for the Outlaws. I have already joined the Albs, as you can see. When you join a faction, you do get their armor, so I am using the basic Alb armor. And once I get enough shards, I am going to be upgrading to the more advanced ones for better security. For protection, rather. It's the game is hard. The game is definitely hard and challenging, and I want to talk about the difficulty setting after I talk to the voice of Khan here. Right, so settings. Let's see. Difficulty, battle difficulty, story. Right, so the story difficulty is actually the easy difficulty. The easy difficulty is more like the normal difficulty. The normal difficulty is more like the hard difficulty, and the hard difficulty is a kind of difficulty that you only set for this game if you have a tremendous amount of time to play it. I did start on the easy, and I noticed that the battles were taking way too long, and I had about 10 days to get my hands on this game and do this review before the release. So I found that I was enjoying the game a lot more on the story difficulty, so I kind of switched to that. And you have minigame difficulty, which they're not that many. It's mostly unlocking locks and then hacking safes so you can open them. And then you got aim assist, which is needed on a game like this because when you have the render latency, right now it's a 51, 54, 40. So when you have a game like that, there's a lot of delay. There's a lot of input lag. And as you can see, once I'm done moving, the camera just kind of keeps moving instead of being very accurate, kind of like it would be with a game like Halo Infinite or any of the actual Halo games on PC. I believe they're trying to go for kind of like a cinematic thing, but once you're wielding a weapon, that doesn't go away. You still have this annoying mouse smoothing and mouse delay that you have to deal with, and it's fucking ridiculous in the sense that it does not help you at all. The camera absolutely works against you, and I'm not a fan of it entirely. I absolutely hate the camera work, and I'm really hoping that, again, a patch before release hopefully will fix these. And THQ, I think they'll learn the lessons with this game. ELEX I is surprisingly still $50, and this technically also launches at $50, but it's 10% off now on Steam, and I think like 16% off on Green Man Gaming. Let's talk to this guy. Against you, okay.
If you wish to show that you truly respect our way of
what do I need to prove myself? Okay.
if you cannot show
I want to show my respect. Okay, should I give him 1,000? I do have a lot of let's look at the inventory menu here. I do have a lot of shards. I have 17,000 shards, which are not very easy to come by, especially in the beginning of the game, but I actually have a lot of stuff that I can sell to make up for it. So you know what, fuck it. I am gonna give you my shards, you piece of shit. Impressive amount, there is respect for us. Okay, go to him. This guy doesn't want to talk to me. Okay. Alright. They got more tasks for me? Like, okay, alright, no more tasks. Cool, so this quest line is done. I guess I have to wait. No, not now. Alright. I'm gonna go fuck off. I'm actually gonna go walk a little bit into the city and see if I can kind of break it. So I can actually show it a little better. Let's go up, and then we're gonna go even higher. By this moment, it should have been breaking right now, and everything should be phasing in and out of existence. There's an invisible wall there. Somehow. Let's see. Wow, it's not really doing it right now at all, actually. That's quite surprising. Well, a little bit doing it here. I do have a video, not in this city, but oh, I do have a video that kind of shows it a little better. And I will, oh yeah, they won't let me get in there. Alright. Moving on. The difficulty, yes, so if you're in the story-only difficulty, your stamina will not deplete while in battle, but it still depletes while you're running in the wild. So if you're running right here, as you can see that my stamina is depleting. But once I pull out my sword and I start attacking and doing my shield bash and dodging around and everything, it's not depleting. So I'm not quite sure why that is. It just kind of makes it a little bit more weird, in my opinion. Oh, here we go. Yep, now it's freaking out. That's exactly what I'm talking about here. Imagine this just 10 times worse in the outlaw cave system there. This is just distracting right here. I'm not quite sure how they're shipping the game out like this on launch. I don't know if it's just me or my stupid aspect ratio or whatever the fuck is the reason for this to be happening, but this is not acceptable at all. If this is happening when the game launches, they're gonna have to deal with the fucking shitstorm of a game. Of an angry mob, basically. Oh, here we go. Also, an easy difficulty, no matter how high you fall from, you're not gonna die. You're gonna survive with 1 health, even if you only have 1 health still. And what is also new here is grabbing ledges while you are on the jetpack. No longer will you have to worry about it like you did in the first game. Here is the jetpack again, just kind of like ejecting you. I finally got that upgrade about 10 hours into the game, and that's when I actually started having fun with the game, because moving around and all that shit, that was just not fun for me, honestly. So I have to tell... Okay, let's get promoted to Trooper. I had to be level 20 to be promoted. So yes, you do upgrade your jetpack in this game. I don't believe you had any upgrades that you could do in the first game. And in the beginning, your jetpack is entirely useless. It doesn't have gas, it doesn't have fuel for anything, honestly. It's just kind of there to be there. Alright, I'm a trooper now. Rank 5200 experience. Oh, this bitch does not like it. Okay, so this is what I do in this scenario. I load the autosave file. Hopefully it's not... Is it this one? Okay. Yeah, so you kind of tell your companion, stay here. So she is a companion that belongs to the outlaws. So obviously, any interaction you have with another tribe, joining the ranks or being friendly towards them, any companion that is not of that tribe will not like that behavior. So I always try to do this, trying to have my companions wait before I actually do what I'm supposed to do with this faction. I'm not reading this. I'm just gonna go back and read the description of this. Okay, cool. I don't think I need any more details. I have to find some scouts. Find some scouts. Let's go to the depot in here, and we're gonna track this back here. Okay, so that's the mission target. Let's talk to Nasty. We're gonna follow me. This is gonna give me a perfect opportunity to demonstrate how stupid the AI is. Incredibly stupid. And for the most part useless, unless they are a mage or they use ranged weapons, which they mostly do not. So this is an easy. Let's see how long it takes for her to realize that I'm under attack. Okay, so that was quite quick. Let's see how long it takes her to attack it. Not too long. That's good to see. You cannot loot enemies while you have your weapons equipped. The AI is entirely stupid. It's ridiculously stupid, and Also, the only reason why I can see the outline of these items here is because I'm wearing my sunglasses, and one of the perks of the sunglasses is to show you an outline of items that you can pick up. That's a flying enemy there. It's going to prove to be a pain in the ass. Let's see. Oh, okay. So she took a while to realize. She dodged it for no reason. Let's see. Okay. You had plenty of opportunity to attack there, and you still haven't. Still looking at it. There we go. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. As you can see, the AI is not to be relied on at all whatsoever. It's quite ridiculous, frankly. I haven't seen AI quite this bad in a very long time in a game. And I don't care how many day one patches they release. That is not fixable right there. That is just in the core of the system. I don't know. It's going to take a long time to rework this. An AI that is this bad, honestly. So I'm not going to say never. But I'm not going to have hope for it either. Where are these fucking scouts? There they are. Alright, let's focus on the voice acting a little bit.
I don't want to see a pile of fucking scrap metal, you hear? Hey, you! We're here first, so fuck off! Find your own place to scavenge.
If I were you, I'd choose your next words very carefully.
Cut the fucking alpha male show of dominance bullshit. Back of the line, buddy, and don't count on there being much left when we're done with it.
You're not touching anything else until I know what's going on here.
Man, that's amazing you can even breathe without someone giving you instructions. Okay, so we found this merry band of brothers in a decidedly post-alive state. And now we're cleaning out their pockets. That's the deal. And it's not like we're finding a whole lot.
And that's pretty much the voice acting. I have no complaints. There's a very big range of voice acting to be had here. And it's all pretty good. Okay, let me get... You're not getting out of me. Let's see, I got strength. Nope, I will be killing you. Yeah, you're gonna be dying now. Okay, yep. Yeah, you're definitely gonna be dying soon. Alright, let's see how nasty we'll do. Oh, actually, you know what? I don't think I have time for that. I finally have a sword that does fire decent damage. This is a lot of damage for the easy difficulty even. It's usually not this much. And, yeah. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of taking too long with combat. So I'm more than content with the difficulty of the battles here on the story only difficulty. But if you are one of those masochists, you can absolutely crank it up. So this is engaged at me, right? This is locked into me right now. He's attacking me. He's literally attacking me right now. And Nasty's just sitting here, just minding her own bit. The thing is right fucking next to me, about to attack me, and she finally wakes up. Now, she woke up, but the effectiveness is just probably not going to be there, honestly. She's doing quite a lot of damage, which is interesting. Let's see, these are my alb spells here. So that's more of a paralyzing thing there. There we go. Just die already. That was actually pretty easy. Not gonna lie. Take this lurker stuff and go back. So you kind of get the idea of how slow to react the AI is, which is kind of a shame. So you're gonna wait here because I don't trust you. And I'm gonna go back and complete this mission. Man, the jetpack upgrade here is so nice. I'm so glad that they did this with the jetpack so you can get places faster because... Oh.
We can count on you.
How is he? This happens sometimes. The people are supposed to be talking to someone.
We can count on you.
Okay, I'm speaking to the wrong fucking person. Gotta speak to this guy. Did I just kill a bunch of clerics? In this game, the clerics have been pushed out of... Oh, I forgot to bring my companion. Shit. And here we go. This shit. Right here. This is not cool. Piranha Bytes. I really hope you guys fix this. I really, really hope you guys fix it. Please do not ship the game with this issue. Oh, there he is.
Let me explain to you what happened. The key player in this effort was the ALB commander. She's proven herself a force to be reckoned with. But a solution to our manpower problems is presented. In contrast to what passes for a recruit around here, they're disciplined. Consequently, we now keep a lookout for them on our borders and accept.
That doesn't explain the dead bodies.
I don't think you fully understand. The ALB. Maybe it's better if you heard from them directly. One of my acolytes is giving them the guided tour. You'll find them in either the canteen or the production hall. When you've had a chance to say hello, come back to me. I promise, all your questions will be resolved. After that, I have a proposal for you, but more on that later.
Well, that's that. And for that is the cue to look in the inventory system here. So we got the one-handed weapons on the top, as well as the shields bundled into that. The shields are always going to be on the bottom, which is a nice organizational thing. I don't mind the inventory system at all. It's actually pretty well crafted. You have the two-handed here. This is my Ice Fist. It is the ALB spell that I learned, which is pretty cool. I wish you could wield something else with it. It doesn't do a lot of damage at first, but you have to actually level it up, and you use ELEX to actually instead of like mana or something like that you would as a berserker and mage. Then you got the other weapons. What bothers me about this game is you get so many fucking weapons early on that are so high level. I had to sit there with this kind of sword, like a damaged sword or a runner blade or something like that. Actually, a damaged war axe, I remember, for a very long time, and I had all these in my inventory, and I still cannot use them because of the requirements. There is an attribute that lowers the requirements by 10%, but that's still not enough. And after 30 points here, each value costs 2 points, 2 attribute points to level up, which kind of makes it a little bit of a bitch to level yourself up enough to actually use these weapons. So arguably, you're going to say that that is the reason you have the ALB abilities here, so that you can actually... yeah, Berserker stuff is here, but you can't use it. Once you pick a faction, you can't use the rest of the stuff, which I kind of wanted to pick the Berserker, because they got the fire, but in the Fire Fist, but I just picked the ALB, because of the seemingly far superior... military state that they seem to be in. So anyway, you got the ALB here stuff. You can level it up. The ELEX, the Ice Fist. You can heal with it. You can do a Blizzard spell. So for these, you don't actually have to know. You don't have to actually have any attributes that are too high. So you can have intelligence and constitution. Actually, you do need intelligence for these things. Yes. How much does this one need? So intelligence, again, constitution. Yeah, even the spells need a lot of work. So I don't know. I haven't been able to learn any cleric stuff yet, but I wasn't able to actually join the clerics in this. I don't know what I did wrong, but you cannot change a faction once you join it. So these are the jetpack things here. You can increase the fuel capacity. You can do an additional tank. That you have to do this first in order to increase the fuel capacity. Jetpack, obviously, you have a jetpack. Floating, this is the ability that lets you use your weapons while you float, which is pretty nice. Retro rockets, they stop you from crashing under the ground. It kind of, when you run out of fuel, it's automatic. This was not a thing in the first game. In the first game, the jetpack regenerated as you fell, as it was not being used, but also there was no damage. There was no fall damage on the first game. So I think think I prefer it this way, actually. Maneuvering boosters allow you to move sideways mid-air with your jetpack. It's kind of like a dodge thing. And then this one is the sprint boosters. You can fly faster thanks to the sprint boosters. This is the one that I was using that helped me go a lot faster. Ranged combat sucks ass. It's really bad. And that's because of the moving. So oh, you're on a T-pose there, aren't you? Oh, you were just waiting to pass through. I will go on the outside of the area here so I can equip my ranged weapons, because I don't want any of them to freak out. So I got my trusty crossbow here, and now let's just do this. This is the assault rifle. It's really bad aiming, so we got cave bird there. I don't want to kill those things because they increase destruction. Let's see if we can find some enemies. There's usually a lot of enemies around here. I don't know what's going on now. Oh, what is that? A mutant? Yeah, contaminated person. Oh, I thought there was an enemy there. So, first of all, it doesn't really do much damage. But, yeah, aiming is just ass. It is just absolute ass, honestly. I would not want to use ranged weapons at all in this game ever. Alright, you're gonna die. How can you be hitting me? Dark Elix. I haven't figured out what Dark Elix is used for yet, but so far, there's been a lot of complaints, but again, after about 10 hours in this game, I actually did start having a fucking blast uncovering the missions and the mission structure. So, without any spoilers, the main objective of the game is to actually unite all of the factions instead of having them battle each other, because there's a new enemy in town and it's an alien invasion. It's a form of an alien invasion, and you have to actually kind of unite everybody to help you fight the alien invasion. And you have to either join a creed yourself, or you can actually go at it alone, which is not really recommended because you do want to use the extra abilities that you get with each faction. So the game sometimes looks really nice, but I just do not justify getting 56, 58 FPS right now with 60 millisecond render latency. My CPU is at 23%, my GPU is at 98%. And it's just, this clearly seems like there's a lot of issues with the drivers, and I really hope that they get resolved really soon, actually. But yeah, that's the way that the missions are crafted. They can be a pain in the ass, because in here I was kind of having a really bad time. It was like hour 5. I was just running around, going from one place to the other. I didn't have my sprint yet and my jetpack, so I had to go from inside the city. I have to run all the way out here and talk to this woman that is running the cultivation fields. I had to go find her, and she was talking to people, and when people are talking to each other, you cannot interrupt them. You have to wait for them to finish their discussions, but you cannot skip that discussion because it's not part of a conversation that you are in. So you cannot hit right click to skip it. So it's just so much that I consider to be tedious in this game. But at the same time, once you give it a chance and you kind of fight through all that bullshit, you do start having a lot of fun. You uncover the quest lines, and you travel, and you go to the Bastion. No, that's the Bastion. That's your stuff there. You go to the Curator that is now taken over by the Outlaws, and you see the kind of filth that these factions are living under. And you see all the buildings pop in and out of existence once you step into the city, which is not, frankly, doing it right now. Which kind of makes me out to be a liar a little bit, right? It's weird that I want the game to break now, when I was really frustrated at the game breaking early on. But you saw it on the cleric side, and what is happening on the cleric city is actually... Oh, here we go. Yep, they did it. What was happening in the cleric city happens in every single city, and yep. Here we go. Frame rate is dropping to 29 and just shit just like disappears from beneath your feet. So I'm not sure why this is happening. Maybe like a memory leak the more you play the game. But it's, if I had to pick one reason why I absolutely cannot play this game anymore, it's this. And I'm honestly, I'm probably still gonna keep playing it. I don't think I plan. Oh, I unlocked this? When did I unlock that? Was that when I was... Oh no, this is the wrong one. That's up top. Okay, that is on the top. It's not in the Morcon cave system here. I'm coming back here just again so I can see if I can... oh, yep. Here we go. It's kind of started to break again. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. That's more like it. I don't have a head. No, I do have a head now. What is... I don't have a head again. I have floating glasses as a head. This is it. And it only seems to be happening when walking. So if I stand still, I don't think that... Yeah, it doesn't happen, which is quite odd. But once you start looking around the camera, it happens a little bit. And then when you start walking, it really starts happening again. So... yeah, if THQ's watching this, or Piranha Bytes, which I highly doubt, please figure this one out. Please. Do not ship the game like this. Delay it. Delay the fuck of it, the fuck out of it if you have to. Don't. I'll do whatever the fuck I want. Just don't ship it. Please, do yourselves a favor. But you kind of dropped into the world, and you... fans of the previous game will have a blast go visiting all the areas. Like, this area was just desert, and now it's more of a lush green forest. I do not give a fuck about this area right here because it looks just dead and it's just kind of ugly to be out there. But Caracas is not my favorite area to be in. It's just a desert, really. There's nothing to it. I do like these areas here more on the north side. You cannot travel while you're under attack. Oh, there's a bear. Let's see if we can fuck it up. Oh, that's a wolf. All right. One hit. I'm suspecting that... oh, this is a quest? Acidic poison sac. That's interesting. Let's see if I can kill this guy too. Not one hit. Okay. Dense bones. I need more than that. Okay, well, I'm not gonna worry about it. Yeah, these areas are a lot nicer than the troglodyte of an area in Caracas, that's for sure. But yeah, that's what Caracas is. I mean, all the Morcons there, they're not really keen on having a good life. They have books made of human leather on the outside on the cover. So that just goes to show. Before I forget, thanks for reminding me, Water. Here we go. Yep. The water effects are atrocious. There's not even any ripples. There's not any water ripples. That's really weird. There's like a little bit of an effect when you jump out of the water, and that's about it. This noise when I'm actually playing and I have to listen to it, it's really frustrating. It's just piercing my ears and I have nightmares about it. You can't sprint while in the water, which kind of makes sense, but that needs to go. That sound effect needs to go. Also, the sound effects of the weapons, let me see if... do they have any? Yeah, like... that's... You heard... I don't know if you kind of paid attention to what the sound effects were while I was fighting earlier, but... yeah, let's give it a shot. I'm just gonna fight this thing right here. That was fine, right? Well, let's see what this is gonna sound like. What should I pick? Let's do... yeah, let's just do this. The War Axe. Why not? Probably gonna get fucked. I don't see any enemies. I need something that will survive longer than just 2 hits or 1 hit. But I don't see anything right now. Seriously, nothing? I got enemies chasing me left and right the entire game, but now I can't find anybody? What is that? What is this guy right here? Okay, that doesn't sound too bad. I had a pipe at some point that sounded just disgusting. Let's see what the sword sounds like. I'm gonna loot you first. Where'd he go? Oh, disappeared? Okay. Alright, what are you doing here? Let's see. What do you got? Swamp spider. Yeah, I mean, that just kind of sounds like it's half-assed, in my opinion. It's not that great. Let's see. You can get fucked too. If you want a challenge, do not play on the story-only difficulty, obviously. That's just for chumps like me that don't really have the time to fight a mob for 15 minutes. That's why I'm not a fan of Souls-like games either. This is one of the... I was going to say this is one of the mini-games, but my lockpicking skill is too high for me to actually have to lockpick that, so... Yep, animation, you have to stop what you're doing. You can't just pick it up. And in a game like this, where you pick up shit constantly, you may have noticed, you may ask yourself, why do I actually go on these boxes? That's because you don't really stop moving very quickly, and pressing the button once, you cannot make any precise movements, basically. This is me actually tapping on the keys. I'm not actually holding them down at all, and yeah, it's turning around is an impossible feat for our guy here, Jax. Jax does not really seem to know how to turn around when he's on a standstill. He feels a compulsive need to actually walk to the left or to the right, which yeah, I'm not a huge fan of. There's some missions where you have to pick things up from the ground, and if you don't have these glasses, it's gonna take you a while. But on the bright side, there's no weight limit. You can just carry as much shit as you want. You know, carry as much toilet paper and get ready for COVID for as long as you'd like. Yeah, no restriction, no holds barred. Yeah, I think pretty much covered everything really. There's gonna be a written review of this in the description, and also on Steam, and on the new blog that I'm launching on Blogger. It's going to have all the written reviews of all the games that I ever written. This is more of a comprehensive overview, seeing what the game is all about live. Not really a 7-minute review that has a really nicely constructed script that doesn't actually focus on the main issues at hand. So, yeah. I hope you find this one useful, and I hope to see you in the next one.